Today we are going to study the 8th lesson. Understood? Fire, friend and foe. Fire, friend and foe. So fire can be a friend as well as a foe. What do you mean by foe? Foe is enemy. So fire is a friend and also enemy, isn't it? Foe means enemy. So fire is both. Fire can be a friend as well as a enemy. So why do we say fire is a friend? Why do we say that fire is a friend? Because we need fire, isn't it? One arm for the other purpose we need fire for cooking. In olden times, how was the people having food? Very olden age, people they used to eat raw things, isn't it? Without cooking. Without cooking, that means the raw. How they get it? They used to have it also, isn't it? So without boiling or without steaming or without cooking. But at once when they started fire, they invented fire. How did they make fire? By rubbing two stones, isn't it? So after making the fire, they understood there is a little taste in the food what they eat between raw food and the boiled one, between raw and boiled or cooked, boiled or cooked. So raw means without cooking. So suppose we are eating fruits and all without cooking, isn't it? And vegetables, brinjal, lady's finger, all the vegetables what we are doing? We are cooking, isn't it? So certain vegetables can be eaten without cooking also, like carrot and all, isn't it? But suppose you take beetroot, can we eat it without cooking? No. So we have to boil certain things. We have to boil in order to have a different taste, isn't it? So the olden people after making fire, they understood there is a different taste in the food between eating raw and cooked, isn't it? So there also they need fire. And at the same time it is so making food everything we need fire. So it can be a friend to us. But again saying fire is an enemy. Why it is an enemy? Yes, because it is very dangerous. If one end of anything catches fire, within short time, what happens to it? It will spread to the last end, isn't it? In between we cannot do anything because it will spread very fastly. Clear to you? That is why it is said fire is a friend as well as an enemy. So now you understood how is the fire and friend and the enemy? Yes, because we cannot catch hold of fire. Can we catch hold of fire? Which are the two things which we cannot catch hold? Water and fire. It will spread within short time. Within no time, they will reach to the other end, isn't it? During the flood time, how is the water? Water running from one area to the other, covering the whole area within short time, isn't it? Similarly, if a building gets fire, within short time, what happens to it? The whole building catches fire and it will collapse into pieces. Yes or no? Yes. So that is why it is said fire can be a friend as well as an enemy. Clear to you now? Okay, now we go to the lesson. Fire is both useful and dangerous. So as a friend, it is useful. As a friend, it is useful, and as an enemy, it is dangerous. So both sides is there for what? Fire, isn't it? That means it is useful as well as dangerous. Now we will see some important points about the fire. Early men did not know what fire was, but he must have seen the damage it could cause. But because early time, very old age, going back to the very old age, people did not know they ate what they had, isn't it? They did not know about cooking or boiling or anything because fire was not invented. But they know the destruction, isn't it? That means in olden time also, due to heavy heat, what happens? The forest and all gets fire, isn't it? So that they must have understood very early time also. People must have understood how dangerous what is fire is, how dangerous. Clear to you? He must have watched lightning and volcanoes long before he began to use fire himself. So this erupting of the volcanoes, it is like a fire, isn't it? At the yes, when at the top and top in the middle of the volcano, it will erupt, it will burst out, and then from there also what is coming? Fire is coming, and the lava flows from one place to another, isn't it? And also lightning also, due to lightning, fire catches fire also. Even today also, due to lightning, what catches? Fire also. There is a reason for that, isn't it? That is all fire only. Fire was powerful and dangerous, and he was frightened. So, olden people, they have understood the value of fire, or how dangerous the fire is through which all things? Volcanic eruptions and lightning. So, people of those time were frightened, and they know about the danger of fire, isn't it? Even today also, we are also afraid of fire, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes, because there is no scope of escaping from fire. It is very difficult because it is very powerful. Clear to you? The early man did not know what fire was, but he must have watched lightning and volcanoes long before he began to use fire himself. Fire was powerful and dangerous, and he was frightened. Fire may have puzzled everyone. Puzzled means surprised. Puzzled, surprised. So he had made people surprised. Fire has made people surprised. But now we know that fire is a result of a chemical reaction. So see the lightning and eruption of volcanoes and all that things where they have seen the signs of fire there, isn't it? And they have, from those things they have understood it is very dangerous as well as powerful, isn't it? But the truth behind fire is a result of the chemical reaction. Truth is that because of certain chemicals reaction. Certain reaction means linking between certain chemicals. What causes fire? Chemical reaction. So modern people could understand how fire is made, isn't it? Because of the connection between the chemicals, or coming together of the chemicals causes fire. Now we will see what are those things. Fire may have puzzled early man, but we now know that fire is a result of a chemical reaction. When the oxygen in the air combines with the carbon and hydrogen in a fuel, a chemical reaction takes place. Energy in the form of heat and light is released in this process. This is what we call fire. So how do we get fire? What is the chemical reaction? Oxygen in the air, isn't it? The whole atmosphere is a content of oxygen. So when oxygen mixes with the carbon dioxide, isn't it? Mixed with the carbon dioxide and heat, isn't it? Carbon dioxide, carbon and hydrogen, carbon dioxide and hydrogen plus hydrogen. Mixed with the hydrogen. Mixed with the hydrogen, oxygen plus carbon dioxide plus hydrogen. Then what releases? The fire. The heat releases, isn't it? Heat is released, and that heat is the fire. So these both will mix into heat, and that is changed into fire. Clear? So that heat will increases. The expansion of the heat will lead to burst out. That is the fire. Clear to now? This is the chemical reaction, how the fire is being caused. Understood now? Now look, early man did not know what fire was, but he must have seen the change, the damage it would cause. He must have watched lightning and volcanoes long before he began to use fire himself. Fire was powerful and dangerous, and he was frightened. Fire may have puzzled means surprised or wondered. Early man, but we now know that fire is a result of a chemical reaction. When the oxygen in the air combines with the carbon and hydrogen in a fuel, a chemical reaction takes place. Energy in the form of heat and light is released in this process. This is what we call fire. So what is fire? When the oxygen in the air combines with the carbon and hydrogen in a fuel. Suppose we are putting some wood over there or some dry leaves over there. What happens? This carbon and oxygen will combine together, and that reaction takes place between them. They will make it into hot. Heat starts over there, and due to the sunlight, this heat coming from the sunlight will add in that chemical reaction, and the whole thing will burst out. That is the fire. Understood? 3 things are needed to make fire. Next one. 3 things are needed to make fire. Fuel, oxygen and heat. Which are the things needed for making? Which are the 3 things needed? 3 things needed are fuel, oxygen and heat. These are the 3 things needed to make a fire. Wood, coal, cooking gas and petrol are some examples of fuel. Oxygen comes from the air. That is why when you blow on smoldering paper, it often bursts into flame. The third thing needed to make fire is heat. Fuel and oxygen do not make fire by themselves, or else a newspaper or a stick lying in the open would catch fire on its own. So nothing will catch fire if you put some paper outside, or if you put some wood outside, or if you put some dry leaves outside. Simply they don't get fire. Do they get fire? In our places there are, isn't it? Sometimes dry leaves are there, or paper is there, everything is there. They are not catching, wood is there, they are not catching fire by its own, isn't it? So when dry leaves are there, what we will do? We will lift the match to a piece of paper and we will put it over there, isn't it? So that heat will make the dry leaves burn. Only in that way we can make fire, isn't it? So just lying on the ground will not cause any kind of fire. Clear to you? So now 3 things are needed to make fire. Which are the 3 things? Fuel, oxygen and heat. Now wood, fuel are wood, coal, cooking gas and petrol. These are fuels, isn't it? What are the fuels? Wood, coal, cooking gas, petrol are some examples of fuel. Oxygen comes from it is the air. Comes from the air what we breathe. That is why when you blow on a smoldering paper means burning slowly without a flame. That means just smoke is coming up. So when oxygen comes, when that oxygen is being produced, the wind comes, what happens? That smoldering will burn, isn't it? Yes. It often bursts into equilibrium. അതായത് പുകഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു സാധനം കാറ്റടിച്ചിട്ട് വരുമ്പോഴേക്കും ഓക്സിജൻ എയറിൽ നിന്ന് വന്ന് അത് റിയാക്ഷൻ get reacted in that and what happened? ആ പുകഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന സാധനം പെട്ടെന്ന് കത്തും. Clear to you? That is why when you blow on smoldering paper, it often bursts into flame. We can wind. That means ഊതുമ്പോഴും ഉണ്ണിയും അതങ്ങ് കത്തിപ്പിടിക്കുന്നു. The third thing needed is heat. So heat can make it heat. Fuel and oxygen. The third thing needed to make fire is heat. Fuel and oxygen do not make fire by themselves, or else a newspaper or a stick lying in the paper would catch fire on its own. So nothing will catch fire. Suppose all these are lying over there. Will they catch fire? No. Only when they come in contact with the oxygen and fuel, only what happens? It will catch a fire. Understood? Simply nothing will catch a fire. To burn a piece of paper or wood, we heat it before it catches fire. Suppose this wood is there, and if we want to catch fire, what we have to do? We have to give heat to it, isn't it? We generally do it with a lighted match. So only after lighting the match. Match means തീപ്പെട്ടി. കത്തിച്ച് ഇടുമ്പോൾ മാത്രമേ what happens? It will catch a fire. Every fuel has a particular temperature at which it begins to burn. So simply it will not start. Everything is having a temperature. Only when that up to there the heat comes, only it will start burning. This temperature is called the flash point. What is it called? Flash point or kindling temperature. Flash point or kindling temperature. Understood? So what is the flash point? Every fuel has a particular temperature at which it begins to burn, and that temperature is called the flash point or the kindling temperature. എല്ലാ സാധനത്തിനും കത്തിക്കാനായിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ ഉണ്ട്. ആ ടെമ്പറേച്ചറിൽ എത്തിയാൽ മാത്രമേ എന്ത് ചെയ്യത്തുള്ളൂ? അത് കത്തി വരത്തുള്ളൂ. ആ കത്തി വരുമ്പോൾ മാത്രം അത് ഏത് പോയിന്റിലെത്തുമ്പം kindling temperature അല്ലെങ്കിൽ flash point. Clear to you? We heat it before. Now understood now? That means for making fire we need three things. Which are the three things? Fuel, heat and oxygen. And fuel is wood, petrol, diesel, all that is fuel. And oxygen is the whole air is being surrounded, is the content of the oxygen. And third one is heat. From the sun we are getting the heat. Isn't it? Simply a paper or a wood will not catch a fire until and unless we give a heat to it, then only it will burn. Clear to you? ചുമ്മാ കിടക്കുന്ന ഒരു വസ്തുവും തീ പിടിക്കത്തില്ല until what we have to give? A heat, and the heat should be up to its temperature. Flash point or the kindling temperature. Understood now? So I will read up to there. Early man did not know what fire was, but he must have seen the damage it could cause. He must have watched lightning and volcanoes long before he began to use fire himself. Fire was powerful and dangerous, and he was frightened. Fire may have puzzled every man, but we now know that fire is a result of a chemical reaction. When the oxygen in the air combines with the carbon and the hydrogen in a fuel, a chemical reaction takes place. Energy in the form of heat and light is released in this process. This is what we call fire. Three things are needed to make fire: fuel, oxygen and heat. Wood, coal, cooking gas and petrol are some examples of fuel. Oxygen comes from the air. That is why when you blow on a smoldering paper, it often bursts into flame. The third thing needed to make fuel and oxygen do not make fire by themselves. So these two, nothing will catch fire. Or else a newspaper or a stick lying in the open will catch fire on its own. To burn a piece of paper or coal, we heat it before it catches fire. Suppose if you want to make them burn, what we have to do? We have to bring the heat to it. We have to give the heat. We have to light a match or some other fire. We have to bring and start burning to it. Understood now? We generally do it with a lighted match. Every fuel has a particular temperature at which it begins to burn. This temperature is called a flash point or kindling temperature of the fuel. Understood now? It is sometimes said that fire is a good servant but a bad master. So always it is said that fire is a good servant but a bad master. It will do all kind of work. So it is a good worker but it is not a good master. It is a good servant but a bad master. It only means that fire is very useful as long as it is kept under control. So why it is said to be a good servant? Suppose somewhere it is catching fire, it will work according to our control. That means we are burning the paper or the dry leaves or the wood over there. After some times, what we will do? We will pour water over it and make it clean. That means the heat must go from there. Otherwise, if we leave it like that, what happens? Smoke will be coming from there slowly and then it will spread to a large area, isn't it? So in order to avoid that, what we will do? We will put down the fire. Yes or no? Yes. What we will do? What happened? So, when if it is under our control, so we have to control it. It should be always in our control. Then it is a good servant. Understood? Then the work what it is doing, if it is under our control, we will stop at a certain time. Isn't it? All the laborers are doing the work and they are not doing it all the time. Isn't it? So after some time, they will stop it. So the master has to come and make it stop. Otherwise, what happens? It will move from one place to another. That means it will start spreading, isn't it? So in order to stop that, we have to control it. Then only it will become a good master also. Otherwise, it is a bad master but a good servant. Whatever work is given, it will do perfectly. Clear to you? For instance, now we can see. We use it to cook our food, warm our house in winter and to generate electricity. But on the other hand, if fire gets out of control, it can be very dangerous. Each year, thousands of homes and shops are damaged by fire. Vast areas of forest are also destroyed and hundreds of people are killed or injured. So how it is said to be a bad master? Suppose in the house, we had opened our gas and cooking is going on. But after some we forgot about it. And still what is going on? The cooking is going on and totally what happens? The whole thing what we had kept over there is boiled or damaged, isn't it? Because we did not come to control the fire over it. And then we are losing also. Gas is losing because of no use. It was still burning and burning. That bowl what is being kept over there, vessel kept over there, everything got destroyed. And after that still we are not able to go and see what is happening. What happens? It will spread to the next thing, and then after some time the whole house will catch fire. So that means the gas cylinder will burst out, isn't it? So there, because it is our responsibility, when we had opened it, it is our responsibility that we have to stop it after some time. Suppose electricity, the light or the switch is on or the fan is going, rotating. When it goes too much, it will get heated. As a result of that heated, what happens to its motor? It will burst, and then that also will be a reason for catching fire. That is why in buildings in the night, what is happening? Getting burned and destroyed, isn't it? Why? Because nobody was there to control it. It is sometimes said that fire is a good servant, but a bad master. It only means that fire is very useful as long as it is kept under control. How can it be a good servant as well as a bad master? Good servant, okay, but a bad master, because we have to control. That control should be over there. If the control is not there, then it is a bad master. Clear to you? It is sometimes said that fire is a good servant but a bad master. It only means that fire is very useful as long as it is kept under control. For instance, we use it to cook our food, warm our house in winter. During winter, to escape from the cold, we used to keep fire at home, isn't it? And to generate electricity for the supply of electricity. But on the other hand, so these all things are what we are regularly using and we need it. Clear to you? But on the other hand, but if it is on the vice versa, the fire gets out of control. So these things which are, that means cooking food or warming, keeping fire at home, or for generating electricity, and if we are not having any control over there, it can be very dangerous. That means the cooking gas cylinder can burst out, or the whole building can catch fire, isn't it? All these can happen due to our responsibility. Only these all happening. Why? Because we have to control it, isn't it? If we leave it, it will go according to its own. Clear to you? Every year, thousands of homes and shops are damaged. That is the reason why many shops and houses are getting fire and getting destroyed. Vast areas of forest are also destroyed and hundreds of people are killed and injured. And in the forest also, the whole area is there, and during the summer time, it is very hot, isn't it? And due to that hot, all the leaves, everything falling down, will dump over there on the ground, and all are very dry itself. At any moment it can catch fire. Even a small piece of paper which is being put over there, or the people having the cigarette, after using it, if they throw it on that dry leaves, the area where it is fully covered with the dry areas, what happens? It will catch fire. And now not only on that particular place it catches fire, because the whole area is being covered with the dry leaves, isn't it? So what happens? It will spread from one area to the end, and the whole area will be catching which are living over there, isn't it? Those trees also will catch fire and it will get destroyed. That is how during the summer seasons, what is happening? Forest area are being caught fire, isn't it? Because of the dryness, too much of dryness and the heat of the sun will make it burn at any time, very immediately, very fastly, isn't it? And the people living over those areas, if their houses are not very concreted buildings, what happens? If there are small huts are there, this fire will spread from this area to those areas also, and that poor people houses also will get destroyed. Even it will give injured to those people living over there. That is how certain areas are being destroyed due to fire when they are becoming bad masters. That means when they had no control over them. When human beings are having no control over there, they will spread like anything. So while they are spreading all their way, everything will be destroyed. Clear to you? Now you understood? I'll go to that once more. Early man did not know what fire was, but he must have seen the damage it could cause. He must have watched lightning and volcanoes long before he began to use fire himself. Fire was powerful and dangerous and he was frightened. Fire may have puzzled every man, but we now know that fire is a result of a chemical reaction. When the oxygen in the air combines with the carbon and hydrogen in the fuel, chemical reaction takes place. Energy in the form of heat and light is released in this process. This is what we call fire. Three things are needed to make fire: fuel, oxygen and heat. Wood, coal, cooking gas and petrol are some examples of fuel. Oxygen comes from the air. That is why when you blow on smoldering paper, it often bursts into flame. The third thing needed to make fire is heat. Fuel and oxygen do not make fire by themselves, or else a newspaper or stick lying on the open would make a fire of its own. To burn a piece of paper or wood, we need heat it because it catches fire. We generally do it with a lighted match. Every fuel has a particular temperature at which it begins to burn. This temperature is called the flash point or kindling temperature of the fuel. It is sometimes said that fire is a good servant and but a bad master. It only means that fire is very useful as long as it is kept under control. For instance, we use it to cook our food, warm our houses in winter, and to generate electricity. But on the other hand, if fire gets out of control, it can be very dangerous. Each year, thousands of homes and shops are damaged by fire. Vast areas of forest are also destroyed and hundreds of people are killed or injured. Now you understood? Now again, the next portion, next part will be what are the three main things in which a fire can be put out. That we will go for the next episode. Clear to you? Clear? Okay, today we will stop over here. Now you have to read the lesson very well. Read it many times so and understand it properly.